This okay? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I begin in the name of Allah, the most kind, the most merciful, respected scholars, esteemed guests, my elders, my brothers and sisters of all faiths and all communities. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you all. My name is Dr. Mohammad Abbas Khaki, a trustee and one of the original founders of the organization Who is Hussain. And it's my privilege and great pleasure to attend today, and with the many respected speakers, I will be very quick inshallah. When Brother Zakaria told me about this amazing event and invited me to come to address you all, I thought, how could I not attend an event where we remember and we reinvigorate our hearts and souls with the remembrance of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. For Hussain, as we have heard, is a figure for all creeds, for all colors, for all cultures, for all people and for all ages. His sacrifice is timeless, his achievements monumental. For a humanitarian to endure suffering is expected. And for a philanthropist to generously donate goes without saying, but for a single individual to forego his wealth, his assets, his friends, his family, and his own position in society for the greater cause, and all on a single day, is unparalleled. But that is what Hussain did. Hussain sacrificed everything so that he could put an end to a brutal oppressor. He fought and died for truth, morality, and virtue, and illuminated a world that had been covered in darkness and oppression. His words and his maxims contain messages that can inspire us to greater heights. For instance, he states that the greatest act of compassion is to give to someone who expects nothing from you. He said that death with dignity is better than a life of oppression, and though he died over a millennium ago, for many of us, his legacy and his inspiration lives on. In fact, 5 years ago, a small group of us, inspired by Hussein's universal values of justice, of kindness, of morality and goodness, we came together, as Gandhiji said, to become the change that we wanted to see. We dreamt of a world where compassion was the cornerstone, where you were judged by the content of your character, and so Who is Hussain was born. Who is Hussain inspires individuals through the timeless example of Hussain ibn Ali and the values that he stood for, those of social justice and dignity. We believe then, as we do today, that Hussain is a figure that is not just for Muslims, but for everybody. We harness the energy of those individuals around the world to empower the communities, to organize charitable events for the common good. And today, Who is Hussain has transformed organically into an international charity operating in 29 countries and 81 locations around the world. And the actions and the worldwide response has been simply incredible. The work of our London team's homeless food drive was featured by CNN's Amanpour, by the BuzzFeed and by the BBC. In Harare, in Zimbabwe, our team runs what we believe to be the only support network for street children, helping them to get back on their feet. Our Lebanon team have twice broken the national record for the most number of blood units donated in a single day, breaking their own record just a few weeks ago. Our Michigan team, in response to the water crisis in Flint, handed out 30,000 bottles of water in an emergency response to those who were affected, for which they even received a phone call from the White House. And in this wonderful country, the country of my own family's origin, Who is Hussain, India distributed 75,000 meals this year in the month of Shahr Ramadan, with the Times of India running the wonderful headline, Today the poor won't go hungry. In fact, in this very region, and with the assistance of Aga Sultan, of Zakaria Abbas, with Sayyid Saad and the holy shrine of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, we were able to provide life-saving surgery on the poor and destitute Iraqi children right here in Narayana Hospital in Bangalore. In truth, Who is Hussain is active all year round and all over the world. So why am I telling you this? It's not to speak arrogantly, it's not to talk boastfully, it's to highlight that today, whilst we learn about Hussain, whilst we gain inspiration from Hussain, let us vow that we will emulate Hussain. Like Hussain, let us not just talk the talk, but let us walk the walk. To that end and to close, I invite you all here, regardless of faith, color or creed, to join Hussain and become part of our wonderful global grassroots social justice movement. The truth is that when we ask who is Hussain, perhaps we really need to ask, who is Hussain today? Who is going to assist the needy? Who is going to aid those who need help when all else have abandoned them? Today, I hope we can take a moment from our busy schedules to pause and gain inspiration from Hussain's altruism. Today, I hope we can take Hussain's spirit of selflessness and sacrifice and implement it in our lives. Today, I hope we too can enjoy goodness and work towards social justice for generations to come. And today, I hope that we as a society can live like Hussain did, joining hands as one great community of humanity that lives with compassion and integrity towards all. I will end with the words of the famous Urdu poet, the Shairi-Inkilab, the poet of pre-independence India, Shabir Hassan Khan, known to some as Josh Malehabadi. He says that let the nations and the tribes of the world awaken. Let the nations and the tribes of the world awaken from their slumber, then all of them will call out, Hussain is ours, Hussain is ours. Thank you very much for your time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.